Hi, ladies. I wanted to jump on and tell you guys a little personal story so that you know your life is not as crazy as it seems, and I can relate. So, if you watched Wyatt's story, my video that literally states Wyatt's story, or read it on my blog post, I wanted to tell you about some little quirks that are just typical Wyatt that can be a challenge to deal with, but in the big scheme of things, are actually kind of funny and make me appreciate him for who he is as a very unique person. So, as you know from my other video, he's ventilated dependent during sleep. He has a trach. He communicates basically 90% of the time through signs, and now is starting to vocalize as well and build some. I wouldn't call them sentences yet, but throw some words out there randomly together, and then I fill in the blanks. And he's also on the autism spectrum, most likely high functioning, but we don't know yet for sure because he's only 5. But some things that he does on a day-to-day basis that have kind of shaped our daily routine, and we have to be mindful of it, are all related to his behavior. He used to have huge problems with transitions where he would pass out on me and I would have to resuscitate him. So because of that, we started to get into these habits of what works for Wyatt, and that's what we're going to do. And unfortunately, that means my other boys have to play along, which they don't necessarily like all the time. But for example, we have to set a timer. We set a timer for Wyatt for everything. We set a timer when it's time to eat. We set a timer when it's time to go to bed, when it's nap time, when it's time to get up. Everything is a timer. So we constantly have to have this discussion between all of us. Okay, when should we put him to bed? Okay, let's put a timer. And then every 10 minutes we have to remind Wyatt, hey, Wyatt, when the timer goes off, what do we have to do? And he'll tell you. He'll tell you what it is, but it's kind of funny because we're all ticking around the timer, right? Then some other things that are just really unique to him that are actually kind of cute are his bedtime routine has started off really small and is exponentially growing for some reason. We used to start his bedtime routine with just giving him bubbles on his belly, and now it is potty, brush teeth in his bed. It can't be in the bathroom, it has to be in his bed. Then bubbles on his belly, then bubbles on each of his cheeks, then nose kisses, and then bubbles on his hands. First the left hand, then the right hand, and then both hands together. So what started with simple belly bubbles now has turned into this big old deal where you gotta make sure you're not missing any steps or doing them in the wrong order. And some other quirks that he has that are really unique to him is he learns by repetition, which used to annoy the crap out of me. So when I'm referring to like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse reruns or marathons in my house or signing time marathons in my house, that's why. That's how he learns. I've learned to kind of tune it out when it's going on in the background, and he doesn't sit and watch it all day, but he needs to have the constant noise going on in the background. So he will start singing suddenly, like this morning at 5 a.m. I had the Groove With Me song stuck in my head from signing time. He woke me up at 5 a.m. And that's the video he's been watching all day. So I can't get the stupid song out of my head, but now he's singing it. By him watching it over and over and over again, that's how he's learning to vocalize. That's how he's learning to dance and sing and be himself. It is actually really fun to watch. Those are just some of the things that he does, and we all have to, on the bedtime routine, we also all have to run up the stairs and like beat him to his bed to try to get his tag on his blanket. He's been attached to that tag on his blanket since he was born, and there isn't really much of a tag left, but that's just his thing. And I'm sure you guys have stories like that, right? Please tell me I'm not the only one where your kid has weird little rituals that you have to go along with to kind of keep the peace. So I just wanted to share that with you because I think it's kind of funny, and that's just who Wyatt is. That's what makes him such a unique person, and it's totally fine.